welcome all. In this part, we will study about the immunity. Immunity means the overall ability of the host body to fight the disease causing organism and, and conferred by the immune system, that is called the immunity. That means immune system is the ability of the host cells to fight the diseases causing microorganism due to the immune system, that is called the immunity. Basically, immunity divided into two main types. First is the innate immunity and second one is the acquired immunity. We will see one by one. First point, what is the innate immunity? The innate immunity is the non-specific type of the defense with which an individual is born. That means innate immunity is present by birth of the baby and it is non-specific type for the defense and it provides the different kinds of barriers to the entry of the foreign agents into the body. In the innate immunity, 4 types of barriers are present. Now, which 4 types of barriers are present? First is the physical barrier, second is the physiological barrier, cellular barrier and the cytokine barrier. If we talk about the physical barrier, in the physical barrier, these barriers include skin and the mucus coated epithelium of the respiratory, gastrointestinal and the urogenital tracts. The skin prevents the entry of the microbes while the mucus coated epithelium traps microbes entering our body. That means these are very important barriers which are already present in our body. Skin is also important for the protection and that mucus coating of the epithelium lining the respiratory, because of that microorganisms will not enter in our body. That type of barrier is called the physical barrier. After the physical barrier, there is a second barrier of the innate immunity, that is the physiological barrier. Now, the physiological barriers, these include the acid in the stomach, saliva in the mouth and tears from the eyes that prevent the microbial growth. Okay, so such type of barriers are very important to entry of the foreign agents into the body. And physiological barriers, that include the acid. Acid is already present in the stomach to kill the microorganism. Saliva is there in the mouth. Okay, that is also important to prevention the entry of the microorganism. And tears from the eyes that prevent the microbial growth. Next to that, there is the third barrier which is called the cellular barrier. The cellular barrier include the specialized cells which the phagocytosis and the destroy the microbes. These cells are the leukocytes. Leukocytes mean the white blood cells of our body, like the polymorphonuclear leukocytes, or it is also called as the neutrophils, monocytes and the natural killer cells in the blood and the macrophages in tissues. This is about the cellular barrier. After the cellular barrier, there is a cytokine barrier. In the cytokine barrier, that include the interferons. The interferons means the protein. that secreted by the virus infected cells which protect the non-infected cells from the viral infection, and this is called the immunity and the innate immunity. These four barriers are also called the defense mechanism for the foreign particles who prevent the entry of foreign agents into the body, or it is all these barriers are also called the defensive barriers. Then there is the second of type of immunity is the acquired immunity. It is the pathogen specific immunity. This immunity will work only for the specific pathogen, because the pathogen specific defense characterized by memory, and it is acquired by a person during his or her lifetime, either by contracting the disease or by the vaccination. When our body encounters a pathogen first time, that produce a response that is called the primary response of the low intensity, and subsequent encounter by same pathogen that produce the highly intensified response that called the secondary response due to the memory of the first encounter. These acquired immunity is after the birth, and the primary and the secondary immune response are carried out with the help of these two lymphocytes. First is the B lymphocyte and second is the T lymphocyte. The B lymphocyte produce specialized proteins called the antibodies in response to pathogens to fight with them, and T lymphocytes help B lymphocytes to produce the antibodies, and these antibodies are in the blood and lymph. Hence their production is called the humoral immune response, and this type of immunity is called the antibody mediated immunity. And the T lymphocyte produce the cell mediated response, and this type of immunity is cell mediated immunity. These are the two types of the lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes, which give the humoral immune response and the cell mediated immunity. In next part, we will study about the antibodies. Thank you so much.